Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So as always, I got a comment suggesting a build challenge, which I actually had just seen Sandra Pica and Sarah Kendall do a couple weeks ago. And you guys, this might be the hardest challenge that we're doing on this channel so far. So buckle up because today we're trying to build a maze-shaped house. We have it set to 7 by 10, and what Sarah Kendall did to make sure there was room for a bathroom, she marked off a 4-tile space just so the bathroom is fully closed off. We don't really want the bathroom to be part of the walkway. Okay, well, what are we waiting for? Let's randomize a maze. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Oh. Oh god, this might be really hard. Alright, I'm trying to brainstorm some ideas. You know, this isn't a very difficult maze. You walk in, you take a left, you go around this roundabout, and you basically can just book it straight down a hallway to the end. It's a very interesting shape. The hallway worries me the most because it's so thin you can't really fit anything inside of it. Although I do believe we're allowed to use archways, so maybe it's not so bad. I went ahead and made our 7 by 10 box. I got our maze up on the screen. We gotta figure out our floor plan. It looks like the entrance is gonna be right in this tile. We have a wall coming up right here. I don't know how long it is. I think it's 2 tiles. We have another wall on the other side, same length, and it makes a weird little shape like this. This is where our little roundabout is, and then it makes sort of a T shape with the walls. Okay, maybe I should keep the walls up. It's making it a little easier. Like I said, we have a long hallway. I think it goes almost all the way, maybe this far. Literally, what are we going to put in that space? I think it might be best to figure out the outside walls first, and then we'll do the inside ones. This is where our bathroom is going to be, our only closed off room of the house. Okay, I think it looks something like this. I believe we have this side all figured out. We have to finish this part up though. Okay, this makes a nice closed off space right there. That may have to be the bedroom. The number one thing that I am worried about right now is a kitchen, because we need a countertop, a stove, and a fridge. Maybe a sink, but it's not looking like we'll have one in the kitchen. Okay, well, there is the finished maze. Let's maybe start by getting some lights because I can't see anything. Maybe once we're able to see, some ideas might start forming. Since there are so many lights, I'm just sizing them down so you can't see them. Otherwise, it's just kind of a lot to look at. I'm kind of thinking maybe we should have re-rolled. I'm trying not to think it, but I'm just feeling like we should have re-rolled. I'm so scared of this hallway, but we don't want to re-roll. That would be cheating. Before I actually start decorating, I'm just gonna try and figure out the floor plan, so I'll have some idea of where things can fit. I guess we should make sure that we can play test these things. So we have the Price family right here, and I can tell you right now we're not gonna have enough beds for all of these people. Let's see if she can actually use the bed like this. Is she gonna get it? No. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have to make sure we can figure this out. I think it should work. We just have to make sure the bed is squeezed enough into the wall, or maybe the issue is that it's too far into the wall. No, okay. Already running into our first issue, I see. Oh, okay. We figured it out. So I pushed it into the wall a lot, but now she is able to sleep in there. Okay, sorry, but now I'm gonna have to kick you out. You know what? For the kitchen, I might have a little bit of an idea. So if we put a countertop right here, and then if I put an archway to it, no, it looks like she cannot reach it. Okay, that's okay. Scrap that idea. Okay, I think I did figure out a new plan. So over here, I put an archway. So I was able to block off this side by putting a countertop where they can cook on. As I said, unfortunately, I really don't think we can fit a sink. We got a pretty hard one to work with. There's not many nooks, so I'm thinking what we could do is just to have the bathroom door right here. That way, if they need the sink, they can use the bathroom sink because it's right next to the kitchen. And there we go. That works just fine. I'm pretty sure that Sarah Kendall actually tried this challenge again, but with 2 stories and 2 tiles. I may or may not get comments saying that I should have tried this with 2 tiles instead of 1 because it would be a lot easier. At least I know a lot of people suggested that for her. However, I was worried it would make it too easy because the real hard thing here is not necessarily the weird layout, but instead it's the fact that everything is only 1 tile, which is clearly nearly impossible to work with, but that is exactly what makes it so fun. I'm just kind of doing the entryway right now. I don't really know if a plant actually fits here. What's another entryway type item we can add? My first thought was the Dream Home Decorator shoes. I literally always use these. Oh my gosh, you know what I didn't even think about? How are we gonna do the window? windows. I'm thinking it might be best to save that for the end. I'd rather prioritize everything fitting in the house right rather than what the windows look like on the outside. This is such a tight squeeze. I have zero idea if your Sims can get around this stuff. I feel like they can. They usually can, just as long as there's like half a tile of space to walk in. I usually make my houses so cluttered, but maybe I shouldn't for this one. Since it's already such a narrow space, maybe you don't want it so crowded. It's already claustrophobic enough. We don't need to make it worse. I'm also realizing, is it even worth it to put rugs anywhere? I guess we do have some really skinny rugs, but either way, it's just gonna look so weird. Oh my gosh, these shelves are huge. Yeah, I don't even know if your Sims can walk past that. Let's do a little test first. Let's see if she can walk around this shelf. I hope so because it's so cute. It's a little cat with a mustache. It is really encroaching on that tile though. Oh. Okay. Well, I wouldn't say she walked around it. She did in fact walk through the wall, but hey, she walked by. That's all that matters. This is making me realize your Sims can get through a lot smaller spaces than I thought. So that's good to note for future challenges. Also, after kind of going through the house, I realized we only have room for one bigger bed, but I do have a small space where I think I can fit a toddler bed too. So that's good. At least we could fit more than one Sim in the house. And that's also fun because we can decorate a little more childish, a little more colorful. Well, since we can only fit one single bed, I'm guessing maybe this is a single parent, maybe a young single parent too. This house is giving very youthful vibes, and maybe because they're young, they don't have a lot of money, and that's why they got stuck with a weird maze-shaped house. Honestly, maybe it wasn't even a house. Maybe it was a really cheap, like abandoned building, maybe an old office building or something, and that's why it was super cheap, and maybe they've just been kind of renovating it. That could also give another reason as to why their stuff is so colorful. Maybe a lot of it is just reused furniture that they had when they were a teenager living with their parents. I would assume that a lot of it would be thrifted too since it's cheaper. So maybe we can use a little bit of Eco Lifestyle. I'm using this nightlight. I know Eco Lifestyle comes with kids beds, but does it come with any toddler beds? I don't think so. I was thinking one of the ones that you fabricate or maybe find in the dumpster, but that's okay. I think this will do. We can get just a couple little rugs too. Like I said, the rug situation is gonna be a little weird. We'll get some toddler nesting blocks, and this is actually a little wall bookshelf. It's really thin, so I'm pretty sure your Sims can squeeze around it. I was wanting to put a Blarfy in this corner. I don't know if that's a good idea. Blarfy is a little bit on the big side. Maybe a toy box would fit better. No, I mean, even these are quite big. That's okay, plan B. Instead, we can just do a shelf and we can put some toys on top of it. Ooh, a really good idea would be to use the nifty knitting toys. We'll have to find room to put a knitting basket in the house, so maybe to save money, they can craft their own toys. And even some decorations. These plushies are pretty small, so they fit really nicely in this corner, and your Sims should totally be able to walk around them. Okay, I know this house is obviously such a weird shape, but I'm loving how it's turning out. I think we can almost be done with the kids area. I'm just gonna add some artwork, and honestly, it's a really cramped space, but it's a really cute space. I think I really want to use some of the high school year decorations. Like I said, this parent is still pretty young, so I really want the house to show that. Okay, I know I said I wasn't going to add windows yet, but I realized I was just decorating the walls, forgetting that I needed windows at some point. So I'm just gonna put some down, and if they interfere with any important objects, I'll just get rid of them. I think I'm gonna put another full-length mirror right here because it's in between the parents' bedroom and the kids, so they can sort of use it as a getting ready space. And you know what's perfect for right here? These hanging plants from Nifty Knitting are so good for small spaces. Your Sims can usually walk around them super easily, and I also love them. I use them in every build. They'll always hold a spot in my heart. Okay, well, it's time to do the parents' bedroom. I don't think I've ever used this bed swatch, so I kind of want to try it. It also makes sense why their bed is a single bed rather than a double bed, because since they got some of their furniture from their parents' house, this could have easily been their bed back at home. I also have no idea what to put in this space, because whatever I put, it won't be functional. I know I have the hanging clothes, but I guess I could get another dresser just for more storage space and place to put decorations. I almost forgot I added an easel, so maybe they really like art. Maybe that's how they're just getting by right now. They're just surviving off of selling some of their paintings. Ooh, and we could get a megaphone. Maybe they were a cheerleader. Maybe they did have a teen pregnancy and that made them have to quit cheerleading, so they hold on to their cheer memorabilia, kind of just reminiscing. I feel like they would definitely have their baby's handprints just hung up on the wall. I feel like they love them so much and just want to give them everything in the world. Can't forget our knitting basket. Thankfully, they're pretty small. Okay, I quickly play tested this. I did have to move some things around. I can't put anything on this wall. It'll be a little empty decoration wise, but they need to get in the bed, so that works. We can be done with the parents' room. Now we gotta work on this weird hallway, which I cannot lie, I was definitely putting off on, which my original plan was to have an archway and make a living room space, but as you can see, they cannot reach the sofa. I guess the sofa is interfering with the archway, which is so annoying because obviously they could just like sit on the couch, but the tile space interferes with each other. So I think instead I'll make this space the living room, but I have no idea what I'm going to do with our hallway. Well, I'm wondering actually if we do this, would they be able to watch the TV from there? Like if I put the TV on this wall, can she watch it from this couch thing? I don't know. She's getting up and she's no, okay, not gonna work. Okay, fine. If we do it like this, it works just fine. I know it's horrible and weird, but we quite literally have no other choice. So unfortunately, there's going to be nothing important in this whole entire hallway. I can fit a microphone, so at least there's one other skill item. We're just gonna have to bring out more decorations, more paintings. Oh, you know what? We could totally fill in the space by using a runner rug. I know I said I didn't know if I was going to use one of them because they're a little weird. It would definitely be perfect for this kind of space. I'm actually even sizing it down to make it thinner. It is so claustrophobic. Like literally my worst nightmare walking down this hallway. I know I already have 2 mirrors in this house, but I just don't want to put another painting. We just have so many all over the house. It's getting a little crazy, a little too much. Gosh, I don't even know how to decorate this space. This is such a weird angle, but I also don't really want to have the walls down because it's not giving that maze effect. I added an extra window in here in hopes that it would make the space look a little bigger, because that's like a housing tip, right? Don't windows make a room look bigger? And I think we can be done in there. Let's move to our kitchen, which I was actually super excited to do. I think I'm gonna do a basic sort of old looking tile, because let's say this was like an abandoned office building or something. I'd assume the parent living here wouldn't have enough money to fully renovate the kitchen, so they have to leave the old tile, maybe the old appliances too. We can get this cheaper fridge. I don't want to do this to them. I don't want to give them the dirty stove. This one is like a very basic stove. I feel like it could work. The only thing is it looks really clean and new. You know what? As much as it pains me to do it, I think I have to go for the old one, just so it fits with our storyline. We'll get a super cheap little trash can. For the countertop, this Dream Home Decorator one is super plain, super basic. You wouldn't have a super colorful, pretty countertop in an office building, so I feel like that makes perfect sense. Gosh, it's so ugly, but it's perfect for the storyline. But we can totally make it look cute with some decorations. Like, I wonder if we can fit in this kitchen shelf. She was able to squeeze by it, so looking good. Since this is a bar countertop, we have a little more room to put decoration on it. It shouldn't interfere too much with cooking or anything. Maybe we can just get a cookie jar. I've absolutely been loving these paintings from the kitchen clutter kit. Like, come on, they're so adorable. I might even need to squeeze in 2 of them. It's obviously a very tiny space, so I'm thinking we could just add a rug and be done with the kitchen. Just a cute tiny one. I love this pastel rainbow one. Obviously, I mean, who wouldn't? Let's go ahead and pop into the bathroom just really quickly, and I feel like we should use the same tile. You know what? This makes so much sense, like having the bathroom attached to the kitchen area, because since we're going with the idea that it used to be an office, it's kind of like a break room. You can take a break to eat, you can take a break to go to the bathroom. It honestly just works out super well, and I'm gonna get classic public restroom type plumbing, and this little shower we can squeeze in. I do need a toddler potty, and obviously, just like the kitchen, they would have added their own decorations just to spice it up, because right now it's looking real boring. Also, if any of you are concerned that I don't have a bath in here, the toddlers can be washed using the sink. Is it ideal? Probably not, but it's just what works in here. Alright, and I think we'll be done with the bathroom. Nothing too crazy. It actually got me thinking though, should we put the tile in the kitchen as well? I know it's ugly, trust me, I know, but it just kind of makes more sense, so I'm gonna go with it. Now I think it's time to head over to our living room. Okay, to say it's a living room is a bit of a stretch, but you've got a sofa type thing, and you've got a TV. What else could you really even need? We can even add some pillows to make it a little bit comfier. I think that helps quite a bit. I really wanted to try a different color and do yellow, but now I'm just not so sure. I can't help it. I love pink so much. It's always what I gravitate towards. Pink is just arguably the best color, and this painting matches perfectly. Oh my gosh, it's so narrow. You know what we need to do? We need to get more of these fairy lights. I think that will really help make it look cozier, because right now it's just looking cramped, but already that just makes it look a lot more cozy, more comfy, and vibey. I always love putting the tissue box in in living rooms because it makes me think if they're watching a sad movie, they can just grab some tissues, have a little cry session. Ooh, a candle. That is so cozy. Is it a fire hazard? Possibly, but it's just too cozy. We can have a little fire every once in a while in The Sims. It's worth it to fit in some cute clutter. Maybe we should fit some kids clutter around. Obviously, the toddler is going to be hanging out in the living room too. You know what? I actually wonder if I can squeeze in a little poof for them to sit on. It is super adorable, and this one from the Cozy Kitch kit isn't too big, and maybe we could get some more nesting blocks in here too. Oh my gosh, we need to fit in these cute LED signs. We have the cute penguin from Lovestruck, a little kitty cat. It's actually so cozy. I'm not even bothered by how narrow it is anymore. Okay, and I'm just play testing it. It seems to be working out just fine. She's able to climb into the lounge chair, just with a little bit of clipping, obviously. But hey, at least she can lay there. Let's make sure she can also watch the TV. And yeah, it's looking good. I also went ahead and changed up the paintings in here because I thought the other ones were so cute, but just a little too modern. It wasn't exactly fitting the vibes, so I changed it out. I almost forgot. I meant to add a bar stool on the end of this counter, but that's good enough because they will be able to eat there. I am debating if I should put in a high chair though. Toddlers don't really need one, like it's not necessary, but obviously sometimes it's just more fun too. So maybe I can squeeze one at the end of the hall. Of course, we're back looking for a hallway table. It's me and hallway tables against the world in this build. Maybe it just turned spring. We can get a cute spring banner up. Maybe the parent and the kid worked on it together or something. Trying my best to fit as much decoration in here as possible with it still being functional, which is a little bit difficult of a task. I also was thinking of maybe adding in a frog. Maybe the kid really wants a pet dog or cat, but obviously that's a lot of responsibility and money. So in the meantime, they got a pet frog. Okay, let me just make sure that this space is functional real quick. It looks like she can walk past everything in this hallway. Oh no, not the basket of cozies. No, I love the basket of cozies. That is so heartbreaking. Maybe we can get a little radio instead though. It's actually really cheap, and I know it's kind of ugly, but I feel like that would be so fun. They could have little dance parties together. Although there's not much space, but I'm sure it's fine. This is all a super fun kind of family room area. It is super cute. Now all we have to do is this hallway back here. So far, I'm actually loving this house. It was extremely difficult. I think I got a really hard maze to work with, but we've made it work. The storyline is so cute. The house is so cute. So I am pretty happy with it. Let me know in the comments how you guys are liking the build so far. Normally when we do these challenges, I have you guys tell me what your favorite room was, but this is a little different. We don't really have rooms. We just have dedicated spaces. So I guess let me know what your favorite dedicated space ends up being. So I saved room for a desk space. However, I don't plan on putting a computer or anything in this house, although it would obviously be helpful. I'm just feeling like maybe it's not in the budget right now. As per usual, I'm going in with some more kids posters, some little tiny shoes. Some people may not like how childish this house seems, but I think it's really cute that you can tell how much the parent loves their kid, and they are totally fine with sharing their space with the little one. And I mean, like I said, the parent is young themselves, so that makes me feel like they really wouldn't mind. And okay, I guess I am done with the inside of the house now. This area is looking pretty good. Let me actually play test it real quick. Can she get around all of the objects? Okay, the shoe rack is in the way. Let's see if I squeeze it a little more into the wall. Will it work now? Yes, okay, it does. All right, well then everything is working just fine. Okay, well before we do the actual exterior of the house, I'm gonna do a little bit of a patio because I mean, after all, we do have a back door. Might as well make use of it. Since, like I said, it's an office building, I'm not gonna do wooden railing or fencing. I'm going to do an iron fence. It just gives more community lot energy, and the backyard space wouldn't be too big either. I put this on a pretty big lot. Pretend it's smaller, okay? No, I can't do the landscaping because it's all dead. Okay, new plan. We don't need a playtest anymore, so I'm just going to build from Manage Worlds. Oh my gosh, it looks a million times prettier already. Okay, so here we go. We have some plants that are alive and not dead. You know what? I'm wondering, since this building was abandoned, we should get vines and plants growing around the building. Clearly, there's been zero maintenance, and I don't think that they would care enough to want to spend money to get rid of the overgrowth. I also feel like their backyard won't be too fancy or anything. Maybe just some handmade gardening pots. You know, they don't have a pool, so maybe they just put out some beach towels, pretend like they're laying out at the beach near a pool. Although I do want to get that kiddie pool from Seasons. I feel like they could at least have that. And for the last thing, I think we could just do a patio table with some ketchup and mustard, all that good stuff. stuff. Oh, and I almost forgot, we need a big trash can. Okay, well, I should probably start working on the exterior of the house. This is literally the most uninteresting house shape. It's just a rectangle. But my first thought was something cute and simple like this. Like, I do think that looks pretty good. It looks pretty realistic. I know it seems weird because I said it was like an abandoned office, but not one of those modern warehouse type offices, just one of those cute small business type offices. Does that make any sense? It does to me. It may not to you. For the wallpaper, I actually really like this one from not Brindleton Bay. From Cats and Dogs. I don't usually use it, but it's kind of giving small shack vibes, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. That is what we're going for. Okay, well, I think that might have to be it for our exterior. It is so cute. It looks so cozy. It matches perfectly with the inside. And we have our tiny little backyard space. Here is one last look at the inside. You pretty much can't see anything with the walls up. Even with the walls down, it still looks a little funky, but I guess that's just what you get when you try to make a maze house. This challenge was so silly and so difficult, but it was so fun, and it definitely made you use your brain trying to figure everything out. My brain is hurting a little bit, but I'm happy with how it came out. Once again, I got this idea from Sandra Pica and Sarah Kendall, both really amazing creators, so go check them out if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any build suggestions, let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. I actually just checked to see what we were at, and we just hit 7,000 subscribers, like literally while I was filming this video. So thank you so much. I always appreciate all of your support. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!